Okay, this is it. I think at this point it's time for us to finally admit that we are watching the end of days for the Arizona Coyotes. This is a tweet posted by John Gambadoro from earlier today. He does stuff with 98.7 FM Phoenix Radio. I continue to hear that April 18th is the day that Gary Bettman will make the announcement on the Arizona Coyotes officially being sold to Ryan Smith and the team moving to Salt Lake City. All indications are that this is the only option, and all the wheels are in motion for the purchase and transfer of assets. This is it. The Coyotes will be relocating to Salt Lake City, Utah for the 24-25 season, most likely. We already made the video the other day talking about Frank Saravalli and the comments that he made, where he pretty much highlighted that a very detailed plan for Arizona moving to Utah has been brought up, that they are considering the option of doing that, and now it's apparent that April 18th seems to be the day that the official transaction will commence. Now, why April 18th and why not now? Simple. The NHL would probably want the Arizona Coyotes to finish off their remaining games in the 23-24 season. They're playing later today against Edmonton. Pretty impactful game, by the way, for the Oilers. But the Coyotes do play the Flames and then the Oilers again next week, with the April 18th announcement being set to be given after the Coyotes and Oilers game next week on Wednesday. So, seems like this is the case, man. And it's pretty messed up when you see some of the stuff that has been going on with this team in their final few days as a franchise. For example, this was tweeted out by Taj, quoting Frank Saravalli on the DFO podcast. Saravalli said earlier in the season that the Arizona Coyotes were not paying their hotel bills, and hotels around the league banded together and demanded that the Coyotes pay for their hotel stays upfront with a certified check. Adam Wild also went out there and said this: I have heard league head office had to call and demand the Coyotes ownership to pay the outstanding bills owed to the hoteliers. So not only are the Arizona Coyotes probably going to be gone in the next few days here, but they weren't paying their hotel fees, and the hotels had to band together. The NHL themselves had to call and say to the Coyotes, hey, pay your hotel fees. What are you guys doing? So if this already was not a disaster of a team with the way it was run, this kind of goes out there and puts it even further. There's another kick to the back of the head there, because when you think about the Coyotes and their situations over the years, not paying their building fees, not paying the arena staff, not doing their proper due diligence for scouting prospects, illegally scouting them, getting your draft picks removed, drafting an absolute racist POS human being, and not paying their hotel fees, everything has been so bad for the Arizona Coyotes that you kind of have to turn to one name at the very top of the umbrella: Alex Marullo. Because when it comes to the guy who was supposed to be the head of the ship, he just has not done a good job. And the crazy part is he might actually get another opportunity to get another NHL team sometime down the line. We'll get into that more so as the video goes on. But before we talk about him, I wanted to talk about whom this transaction will affect the most. Firstly, of course, the fans. The fans in Arizona. Look, I'm going to say they've been passionate. There are some very dedicated and diehard Arizona Coyotes fans, and we have had some really strong hockey people come out of Arizona in the past, like Matthew Nyes, for example. Arizona-born Matthew Nyes shared his thoughts on the Coyotes' possible relocation to Utah. He said, it's pretty unfortunate. The Coyotes did a lot for me growing up, and I love going to the games. It was a big reason as to why I got into hockey. And the same thing could be said about Nyes' teammate Austin Matthews. I mean, we all remember that Matthews was there during the Alex Ovechkin crazy one-handed behind the back lying down on the ice goal that he had scored against the Arizona Coyotes. That was a legendary goal in an Arizona market that was able to bear witness and inspire one of the top players in the NHL today, because Matthews got a lot of his hockey love from being able to watch the Coyotes. So it's always a heartbreaking thing to see these teams relocate from fan bases where they really don't deserve it. Like, obviously the fans in Arizona don't deserve this. They don't deserve to see their team be run as poorly as they are, to the point where they're not paying their freaking hotel fees. And even some of the players as well. Clayton Keller spoke out about this. Throughout this whole time, there hasn't been a ton of discussion on what's going on. Lawson Crouse said the same thing. We don't know anything more than what everyone else is already seeing. And furthermore, to the complications of everything, we had seen some word that some of these players don't have Salt Lake City, Utah on their trade list. So the fact that they're probably going to be forced to relocate is a really big inconvenience because some of these guys got families, they have their roots settled down, they're in the Arizona area. So being told, hey, by the way, you're moving all the way to Utah, that's your home now, out of nowhere, just completely out of the blue, that's kind of terrifying when you think about it, especially when you consider that just a few weeks ago, we didn't really know if the Arizona relocation was happening, but now it's like, yeah, April 18th, that's the day. Gary Bettman will announce that the team is being sold and Salt Lake City will be getting the new Coyotes. That's pretty drastic, honestly. And when you go over to the thing over here, this was posted onto the Our Hockey sub, and there were some comments going out there and talking more so about Marullo and what could happen with the other Arizona team, and I say other because there could be a second chance for hockey at Arizona once more. Sad Yotes fan went out there and said the worst part about all this is that Marullo is going to have first dibs if we ever get a team again. Screw that. Per Elliot Friedman, though, it's only if he hits certain benchmarks which many people think are unobtainable. Unobtainable, so the baseline is getting a proper arena deal in Arizona? Yeah, he didn't say what the benchmarks are, but I would imagine it's something like in 2024, buy the land, in 2025, start construction, 2026, make reasonable progress on construction, 2027, finish construction, and then 2028, expansion. Assuming he's serious about building and getting the team back, I'd be worried if I were him on getting backstabbed by the NHL owners. I'd want an ironclad guarantee that if I put shovels in the ground on an arena, I get awarded an expansion franchise. No last minute, sorry, we just don't have the votes in the Board of Governors to expand at this time type of shenanigans. Seattle's deal to build Climate Pledge Arena required a team before any construction could start. Once the NHL voted to award the team, they had a groundbreaking ceremony to start construction literally the next day. I'd want something similar in Arizona's case. So this entire thing is very odd because we had seen that the arena deal, they're still going to try to get things going. They still want to build everything for the Arizona arena, but without an NHL team guaranteed to being there, it kind of begs the question, okay, like, is this going to give itself another opportunity in Arizona? Are the NHL really thinking about trying this out one more time? Because a lot of these insiders are saying that could be one of the plans here. Relocate the Coyotes to Salt Lake City and then get another expansion team in Arizona for the second time sometime later on. Like, it's very odd. And it's very reminiscent, actually, of the Winnipeg Jets situation. But, of course, that was a double relocation. Winnipeg relocated to Arizona, or Phoenix, and then Atlanta relocated to Winnipeg. So this could be some sort of a similar thing. Maybe another expansion is sometime down the line due. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as to April 18th being the day that Gary Bettman will make the announcement on the Coyotes being sold and relocated to Salt Lake City. You gotta feel for the fans. You gotta feel for the players. Nobody here in this situation deserves this. But when your team is as poorly run with no arena security like the Arizona Coyotes have had, then you kind of have no choice but to see it through with this process. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Players are pissed off. The team is relocating. What are your opinions? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.